Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's talk on our weekly weight loss Zoom. This time it's on intermittent fasting. I found some interesting information about it. We're going to share with you a lot of benefits to it and various of the methods as well. In any case, reasons for the Zoom, just to emphasize this again, is a support group to help you stay committed, helps you stay motivated, but also get healthy nutrition tips in the process and also get your questions answered and have some fun in the process as well, some jokes as well. Like I woke up to drink some water in the middle of the night and I accidentally ate a whole pizza and a cheesecake. Now that sounds like some of us say. No wonder some of us struggling to lose weight. So we need some motivation. And that's why the support group is here, to help you stay motivated and focused. Okay, join also on Facebook, the support group, because you can also get more tips. I also put links up there to the YouTube recordings. So if you miss the talk, you can also go there to the weight loss support group, and from there you can get the YouTube channel as well. This week's tip: use intermittent fasting to help you lose weight.
Yeah.
And actually, more than just losing weight.
Just in a meeting,
There's
but it's
many,
fine.
many health benefits as well.
What's wrong?
Okay. So let's use intermittent fasting not just to lose weight, but also because of the health benefits. Now, I want these intermittent fasting benefits to start right now, okay? Unfortunately, you have to also be patient. It doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen quite quickly if you're committed. What is intermittent fasting? What is it? Now, there's variation to this. Most of us probably heard the one method, but I'm going to talk about the different methods of intermittent fasting. The types of intermittent fasting, there's a 16-8 method, which most of us probably heard about. There's a 5-2 diet. There's a eat, stop, eat one. The alternate day fasting, the warrior diet, and also spontaneous meal skipping, where you just skip a meal because you're just too busy, whatever the reason might be. Now, what are the benefits of intermittent fasting? This is not a complete list, but just to give you some idea. Improved fat burning. It teaches your body to burn fat. Improved weight loss. It reduces the risk of cancers even. It optimizes hormone levels. It is also over the cholesterol levels, also improves body composition, as the fat to muscle ratio, those things. Reduce insulin resistance and lower blood sugar levels. Reduce risk of heart disease. Allows the body to detox. Also cellular repair. Protects against disease. Reduce oxidative damage and inflammation. It triggers a metabolic pathway called autophagy, whatever that pronouncement. I'm Afrikaner, I struggle with that fancy word. But in any case, it means it removes waste material from the cells. It may increase growth of new neurons and protect the brain from damage. May be protective against neurodegenerative diseases as Alzheimer's disease, and may help your liver. You live longer. It helps your liver also, by the way. Just some of the things mentioned here. Autophagy, is that how you pronounce that word? I think so. But let's go on. If you want to go on a diet, you can use the 14-10 fasting as well. Instead of a 16, you can go to a 14-10 diet. This is one of the variations. Or if you want to get to the 16-8 diet, you can start with this one, which is perhaps easier. But I'm going to talk more about that as we proceed. There's the alternate day fasting. Okay, so every second day you fast. I'm not sure I can do that one, because if I have been fasting like a whole day, that's a tough one, but some people do it and it works for them. That was the 5-2 diet. Okay, 5 days eat normally and go fasting 2 days. Okay, on those days, it doesn't necessarily mean a complete fast, but you limit your calorie intake drastically. And there's the eat, stop, eat diet, but it's all basically the same as a 5-2 diet if you think about it. And then it's a warrior diet. Okay, there's also your fasting. It's just the time of day when you fast, it shifts a bit here. But they may take away my sugar, my coffee, alcohol, and my dairy, but they will never take away coffee. Some people feel like that. And unfortunately, willpower is so important when you want to lose weight. Now, the 16-8 diet, that's the one I'm going to talk about, but the principles remain the same in terms of the benefits in the end. Now, the idea here is that for 16 hours a day, you don't eat anything. You can drink liquids, okay? I'll talk about that in a few moments. And for 8 hours, you eat your meals. And this is an example. You have your meal somewhere around 12 o'clock, and your last meal around about 8 o'clock. Okay, that's every day. Now, if you go into the example, look at the schedule at the bottom, the left-hand side, rather. 6 a.m. you wake up, 7 a.m. tea, like a herbal tea, for example. 9 a.m. even more tea or water, but nothing with milk in, for example. Then at 12 o'clock, you eat a big meal, but a healthy meal. You might have a workout at 4 o'clock, or walk, or jog, whatever exercise you're doing. Then 6 p.m., another big meal, a healthy one, of course. And at 8 p.m., a late snack. Last, you can eat something. But obviously, try to eat something healthy if it's a snack. Get a healthy snack. So, normally, people eat breakfast at 7 o'clock, for example, in the mornings, then lunch at 1 o'clock you can take, and the dinner in the evenings. And that you total calorie intake of, let's say, 2,800 calories. With intermittent fasting, because you skip breakfast, and basically 2 meals, not 3, you end up eating less calories. Now, there's a variation to this. Use intermittent fasting for 5 days a week, and then normal diet or eating habits for 2 days, but still healthy meals. Now, what can you drink? You can drink water. You can drink water with lemon in it, cucumber in the water, coffee, no milk, unsweetened. Some people say no coffee. Some people say you can. Okay, but no milk, no sugar in it. Tea, same thing. Apple cider vinegar in water. Then unsweetened seltzer water or some flavored water but unsweetened. I've seen the shops, there's some Banting water. It's basically flavored water, but there's no sweetener in there, unsweetened. Teas must avoid, obviously, with milks or creamers. Avoid protein shakes. This is all during fasting time, right? All during those 16 hours. Avoid sugar sweetened sodas or teas. Avoid juices. Avoid smoothies. Avoid alcohol. Avoid sports drinks during that fasting period. Now, 16 hours, to just go into 16 hours, it can be tough. So slowly phase it in. Like this cartoon says, let's ease into this. I want you to try fasting between meals. Now, that's a really difficult one for many people not to snack. Okay, start, for example, with a 10-hour fast. Like have a last meal like 9 o'clock in the evening, last meal or snack. Your first meal or snack is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's 10 hours. Now, that is relatively normal. That's not too difficult. But do that now for a week or 10 days. Then the next week, starting with a 12-hour fast. Otherwise, last meal or snack like 8 p.m. and first meal or snack 8 a.m. You can move this around. For example, last meal at 7 p.m. and then your first meal will be at 7 a.m. Do that for a week or so. Then the next week, you go on to a 14-hour fast and you make the gap bigger. You can make it bigger by 1 hour as well. And then your last week, obviously, you get back to the 16-8 program. Okay. Now, if you're a diabetic, especially it's important that you phase it in. If you've got health issues, it's best that you phase it in. Diabetics, for example, would be good that if your last meal or snack includes fatty foods and protein, so that your sugar don't fall too much in the night and you don't suffer from the dawn phenomenon. Okay, but get your body slowly into it by phasing it in. This is my breakfast. This is where I start my first meal. Okay, this is my breakfast. So after my fast, I start with this. Okay, because this gives me a complete meal. 56 of the 59 nutrient families are included in this. So I make ensure this way that I do get all the nutrients. Because when you tend to go on intermittent fasting, you may skip certain foods and the process, and then you might miss out on certain nutrients. Now, caution. Intermittent fasting is generally safe. Many people use it successfully and they benefit from it, so generally it's safe. Many people end up not needing certain medications even because their body heals. During the fasting time, your body can actually detox. It actually starts cell repair. And I've even heard from some pharmacists in the UK that diabetics, type 1 diabetics, who actually ended up not needing insulin anymore. So that's anecdotal. So it must first be researched to go into more complete detail about this. But just take it now, they ended up not needing medication, okay, which is fantastic. It is best to use caution when changing your eating routine, okay? Best use caution. Restricting your calorie or kilojule intake for an extended period could be harmful for children and adolescents because they're still growing. So not benefiting them, or it's not good for them, okay? People who are pregnant or breastfeeding obviously should not either. People with diabetes, now many diabetics do use intermittent fasting, but as we say, rather phase it in if you're diabetic, and make your last meal something containing fat and protein as well. People taking certain medications, you're unsure, consult a health professional. People with a history of eating disorders, now, especially if you're suffering from something like bulimia or a history of bulimia, where you have binge eating, and that is a problem, the risk of binging in the end, because you can't control yourself. So it's important. It doesn't mean these people can't do it. They must just be more careful when doing it, and must be sure they have support. Somebody will support them when doing this. Now, losing weight is more an issue of the mind than it is an issue of what and how much is in your plate. Can you say no? Can you say, I can do it? Or are you a person who says, I can't fast for 16 hours? It's all about willpower, being stronger than your emotions. Willpower is the ability to resist short-term gratification in pursuit of long-term goals or objectives. Can you stick to your goal? Okay, willpower is correlated with positive life outcomes. So you must decide. It's up to you. Now, at the moment, I must admit that because I'm getting close to my weight loss target, I'm less focused now. So I'm actually putting an extra effort now to get to my target, because I'm getting close to it. So now I'm not that motivated to watch what I eat. So willpower is so important. Now, a voluntary participation table, which we have every week, as you can see here, I kept the same weight as last week. Linda came down, Janet came down. So this is a voluntary table. If you want to participate, you're welcome to send information on the, so every Monday it's in here. This keeps you committed and accountable. So it's important that you join this weight table if you're really serious about being committed. And you can see here, I didn't lose any grams. Linda lost 300 grams, Janet 700 grams. Now, a summary of intermittent fasting, of the things and things associated with this you must consider. Firstly, to lose weight, you do not only have to change what you eat, but adopt a toxin-free lifestyle and choose what method of intermittent fasting you want to use. It's a very important tool, a weight loss tool. But like I say, avoid toxins and detox your home and body. Intermittent fasting will help you detox your body as well. Please avoid artificial sweeteners and preservatives. Also help the body consume enough fiber, fat, and protein. In some of the previous Zooms, we mentioned the importance of protein in helping you maintain your weight loss program. Read the label of food, make smart choices, avoid anything that's in a tin, a packet, or pre-cooked, or a box as far as possible. And because we don't always eat correctly, we make bad choices in your food, make sure you get some whole food supplements to supplement your diet so you can get all the nutrients. Like I said, I use the New Life Shake, the Pro Vitality, to make sure I get all the nutrients in my diet. Intermittent fasting is the balance between listening to your body and telling you to shut up. Because your body tells you you must eat, you must be able to say no. You have the willpower to say, well, these many hours, I'm going to stay committed and we're not going to eat. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I put the recordings on there, plus other videos on nutrition and health. You're welcome to join and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you subscribe to get information of when there are new videos on. So if you want to lose weight, it may be time for you to change your buying habits. Okay, so for more information, contact the person invited you to the Zoom or contact me. But let's quickly just recap quickly the benefits of why we want to go on this intermittent fasting. Remember, it helps to improve fat burning. It's for weight loss, but it's not only for weight loss. It reduces the risk of cancer. Some people joined late, so I'm quickly running through this again. It optimizes hormone levels, it improves your cholesterol levels, improves body composition, the fat muscle ratio, the body shape, reduce your insulin resistance and lower blood sugar levels. You see, that's why diabetics benefit from this. Reduce risk of heart diseases, help to detox, help to cellular repair, protects against diseases as well because you're healthier, your body detox. It reduces oxidative damage and inflammation. And we already said it helps to remove the waste from the cells. It may increase growth of new neurons and protect the brain from damage, which means it can also protect against neurodegenerative disease like Alzheimer's disease, and also may help you live longer. There are a lot of good reasons to go on this. And even if you do it for 2 or 3 months a year, it will really make a big difference to your life and your life expectancy and life benefits. Okay, let's go back to the end then again. So just remember, this is not a doctor's prescription. This is from a primary healthcare position. I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm making suggestions from a primary healthcare position. Now, I'm going to also allow people to answer the questions now afterwards. Now, remember, intermittent fasting, you can do it. Be determined. Right. If you've got a question, please unmute yourself. If you've got a question or you want to share something, or if you've done intermittent fasting before, unmute yourself and let's hear from you.
Hi, Herman.
Hello, Eileen. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've been doing intermittent fasting since May 26th last year.
Right.
And it's worked really well for me. My goal was to stop nibbling at night, late at night. I'm always up late, so often at midnight I was still having crackers and cheese, and haven't had that since May 26th last year.
Fantastic.
It's worked really well. Yeah.
One can do it if it wants to, eh? I mean, we're so used to getting late snacks, yeah.
Yeah, I am a late nighter, no question. But I don't eat until between 1 and 2 in the afternoon. So that would be 13, 14 in your time.
Okay.
And then I have a 6-hour, I don't like to call it intermittent fasting. I have an eating window.
Okay.
I eat between 1 and about a 5-6 hour window of time that I eat. So I'm done eating in the evening.
Any specific benefits that you can mention that you found from this?
Well, I lost weight right away. I didn't need to lose much weight, but I did. I lost about 4 or 5 pounds within the first few weeks of doing that easily. And my grocery bill should have gone down because I should be buying less food, because really I'm eating 2 meals a day instead of 3. But I do have a little good snack some days in between. You know, it might be a bar, it might be a bowl of some berries or something like that. But so that should have been it. But I buy food still and then realize I've got too much and I freeze it, that kind of thing.
Well, what's important, just touch on if you only take 2 meals a day, because that's what you do with intermittent fasting. You cut out your breakfast, you actually got more money to buy quality food in the end.
Right. Right, for sure.
because you save the money you would have spent on one meal.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Any other comments?
It's a-
Anybody else like to share or ask something?
Herman, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
So, as you know, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I'm insulin dependent.
Yeah.
Um, I've been doing intermittent fasting for many years, and I still have my 3 meals a day. I think what people, if you've never done intermittent fasting and it intimidates you that you have to fast for 18 hours or 11 hours or whatever it is, it's actually not that. You fast while you're sleeping, so you're asleep for 8 hours. That's the first
Exactly.
part of fasting. So you're already fasting for 8 hours. So basically, you've only got 4 hours of not eating in the morning. My last meal is normally around about 6 o'clock or 5:30 because I don't like to eat later than that. Um, in the morning, I will have a glass of warm water with lemon or something. I'll go for my walk, and after I come back from my walk, I will have a bulletproof coffee. And then my first meal is usually around about 11:30, but I still have my 3 meals. So I'll have my breakfast at 11:30, I'll have my lunch at 3 o'clock, and I'll have my dinner at 6 o'clock. So I still have my 3 meals for the day, and they are within my calorie count that I need to. So if it's 2,000 calories, I'll just divide that by 3, and I'll have those calories for each of those eating periods, for my breakfast, my lunch, and my supper. I think for me, also as a diabetic, depending on what my blood sugar is in the morning when I wake up, I will not inject any insulin until I eat. In my diabetes support group, what I encourage people who are type 2 diabetics on metformin, for example, I would say to them, you can still do intermittent fasting, just don't have your morning metformin on an empty stomach. Take your first metformin tablet when you have your first meal. Otherwise, you're just going to be sick. Metformin's a wicked drug. It makes you feel nauseous at the best of times. So don't have your metformin medication until you have your first meal. And it actually does work. It does control your blood sugars. It does encourage you not to snack. It's an extremely powerful tool to manage blood sugar. And I encourage all diabetics to do it, type 1 and type 2. Also, on my diabetic support group, I've got a lot of type 1 diabetics, and they've been doing intermittent fasting. And like you say, they're not needing to take insulin when they're not eating. If you're not eating, you've got nothing to spike your blood sugar.
Exactly.
So there's no reason to actually to inject insulin or to take tablets or whatever it is. And the beauty also with what I've researched through Dr. Jason Fung is that, and you did mention it about the cell regeneration, I think they call it autophagy.
That's the word, yes.
Yeah,
Autophagy.
exactly. And when you do intermittent fasting on a regular basis, your cells just renew themselves. It's the most amazing healing process. And I often liken it to a wild animal. If a wild animal is injured in the wild, if a lion attacks a buck or whatever it is, and the buck gets away and it's got a huge big hole in its leg, that buck will go into hibernation. It doesn't eat, it just goes and rests, and it allows the whole thing of autophagy to heal the wound. And that we're exactly the same. We're also an animal. So our body can heal itself if we just give it the opportunity and the chance. So that's really just what I wanted to say. It's not intimidating. You're sleeping already for 7 or 8 hours. So that's half of your fasting period gone. You've really only got about 4 hours. Cool.
And what you touched on, that was one of the possible solutions for the type 1 diabetics. They found who did go on 16 8-hour fasting, who ended up not needing insulin at all. They think or hypothesize now that because of the cell regeneration, the beta cells in the pancreas actually regenerated, and therefore they don't now need insulin anymore. But that's a hypothesis that must first be scientifically assessed to confirm that. But another thing what I want to touch on is, if you eat for 8 hours and you start with first meal and your last meal, you can snack in between as well. Obviously, wise snacks.
Exactly.
Exactly. So as long as you end up eating less kilojoules and if you want to lose weight. But the theory is that, like you've mentioned, the first 8 hours, your body will basically Like when you sleep, for example, your body's using up the food that you've eaten. Your body's processing it, digesting it, and using it for whatever. Then your body hasn't got any food in the stomach or in the gut anymore. So for the next 8 hours, your body can now heal, regenerate, detox, and so on. And that is why it's important to get to something like a 14 hours fasting. So you at least have some hours where the body can detox and regenerate cells. But if you can't get to 16 hours, 14 hours will also work.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or suggestions? Okay, some people joined late. Just for those people, I am going to put this recording on my YouTube channel and also on the Facebook page, the Weight Loss Support Group Facebook page. So you can also go there and listen to it again and perhaps make notes of the things I mentioned, like what can you drink, for example. Okay. Well, in that case, everybody, have a good evening and let's hope
Can I
for more
ask a
power.
question,
There's a hand
please?
up. There's a hand up. Who wants to? Yes?
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, you can.
What's the minimum period of fasting with the intermittent fasting?
What I've seen is like 12 hours because you need about 8 hours for the body to feed the digestive system and use up all the food. And then you need at least about 4 hours at least to help with detoxing and repairing. And if you take that, then it's not that long. If you eat 6 o'clock and eat your last meal, tomorrow morning 8 o'clock is then already 14 hours. But it will take some willpower.
Could you please repeat that? I didn't quite get it.
Okay. If you can eat your last meal, let's say 6 o'clock in the evening, and then your first meal the next morning at 8 o'clock, that gives you a 14-hour period. 14 hours.
Right. Okay.
The first 8 hours, the body will process what is in the gut, digest the food, absorb it, process it so that you can eliminate the waste, all those things. The next 6 hours then, the body will then use to detox the body, to regenerate new cells, and help the body heal. So it's shorter than 8 hours, but it will still work.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. No other questions then?
Great job, Herman.
Okay, dankie Barbara. Okay, everybody.
I will try like Aline not to eat cookies in the evening.
That's one of my weaknesses too, by the way, especially the dark chocolate.
That and the tea at night.
But the tea, if it's a herbal tea, it hasn't got milk in it. It's not
I know.
an issue.
Yeah, I do go for the tea when I am peckish, as Louis would say. So, but clear tea, I don't. It's just herbal tea, depending on the time of day, or black tea in the morning, maybe.
Very often, if you feel peckish, drink a lot of water as well. It might just help to calm that peckishness. That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay, everybody, thank you for joining tonight, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Keep well, everybody. Okay, bye.
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 Thanks, Herman.
Pleasure. Bye.